Welcome back, elevators, to Elevation 44, where we discuss all things energy mastery and how to utilize the energy to turn your visions into reality. It's your girl B, and I'm back with another video. I know this is sooner than I would usually update you, but I had to get this information out to you, especially since I already hit you with part 1 of this, and now it's really timely because we're going to talk about the lunar eclipses. The first part we talked about were the solar eclipses, and we have a lunar eclipse coming up in a few days on January 10th, so it's timely. Like, I couldn't wait to get this message out to you. Okay, so if you have not watched the first part of this video where we talk about the solar eclipses, I will link it in this video so you can check that out. But let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so just to recap on solar eclipses, the thing that we talked about with solar eclipses is that they bring in major transformation, and often this is a transformation that you're seeing pretty much like physically, like you're seeing some type of massive change in your physical environment or something that is going on with you. Solar eclipses have a masculine energy, so it's more dominant, it's more in your face, it presents itself. Like, there is no ignoring it, there is no denying it. It's like, yeah, change is here and you can obviously see it. Lunar eclipses have more of a feminine vibe. It's a feminine energy because the lunar eclipse is all about the moon, okay? So this is that nurturing, emotional, intuitive type of energy. And so this is also major transformation, but the change that's going to be happening is not really a forceful physical type of change that you can see in your physical environment. It's more subtle in the sense that it is all about an internal change. So these are internal shifts and major internal changes happening within. So let's just get it straight. There is still going to be massive change. There's still going to be abrupt changes, but it's going to be happening on an internal level versus with the solar eclipses on an external level. A lunar eclipse is basically the sun and the moon squaring off. So they're opposite, directly opposite each other, and the earth is sitting right in the center. So everything is lined up, the sun, the earth, and the moon in one line. And the sun and the moon are pretty much on opposite spectrum. So we have the moon that's going to be in Cancer, so we're going to have that full moon in Cancer, and then we're going to have the sun in the sign of Capricorn. And if you know a little bit about astrology, if you look at the astrology wheel, the Cancer and Capricorn sit across from each other. So these two aren't necessarily, they're like the exact opposites of each other, whereas, you know, Cancer is like overly emotional and intuitive. Capricorn is kind of like not emotional, kind of a little bit more rigid, like let's get to work. You know, so the energies, they're already kind of conflicting. So, you know, with the eclipse and, you know, this full moon, it's just like it's already like heightening all of those sensations or those energies. We're talking about a full moon in the sign of Cancer. Cancer is a very, very emotional sign. So when we talk about emotion and we talk about coming to a peak and we talk about the influence of the eclipse with the sun being on the opposite side, we're talking about emotions being at an all-time high. I think that is the one thing that we're going to be able to just really tie or weave through this entire thing, is that the emotional intensity of what this lunar eclipse is bringing in is not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to ignore it. We're all going to feel it on some level or another, but it will be to bring us to make some decisions. So there are going to be some abrupt changes. There are going to be some decisions that have to be made in order to bring us closer into alignment. So it's not as in your face as the solar eclipse energy, but that feminine energy is still going to come through and knock down some walls. Now, with the solar eclipses, I do have to say that a lot of the times, especially depending on what type of eclipse it is, you will see those changes like probably within like the month. especially like I look back and I tracked, I talked about in my previous video, I tracked the dates of the solar eclipses and I tied them to major events in my life. And those events usually happened within 30 days of the eclipse, the solar eclipse happening. Now, with the lunar eclipses, that can stretch anywhere from the effects that, are happening, things that are happening now, you won't see those effects with, sometimes between 6 weeks and up to, between 6 weeks to 6 months. Cancer is all about fourth house activities, which is the home, the family, childhood, and anything that has to do with domestic issues. So when we have this eclipse happening in the sign of Cancer, these are the areas that are going to be illuminated with the eclipse. The changes that are coming with the lunar eclipse are not necessarily going to be comfortable. They're never comfortable, honestly. Solar eclipses and lunar eclipses, the changes are major, they're usually abrupt, they're unexpected, and it's definitely something that you have to really work through spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, because it's not an easy path forward. People's emotions are going to be out of control, and you can only control yourself. You can only control your emotions. So if you are aware of what you're dealing with, you have a better handle on keeping that together. If you have not already been dealing with your shadow self, this is a great time to get a glimpse into your shadow self, introduce yourself to your shadow self, and get comfortable with your shadow self. Your shadow will come out, okay? And you can either greet your shadow, get to know your shadow, and be able to come together and balance out, or you can ignore that shadow and that shadow will wreak havoc in your life to come. So the changes that are happening again are to bring us into closer alignment of where we need to be. This is pretty much the story that I'm always going to tell you guys. Whatever is happening is to bring us into higher alignment, to bring us into closer alignment of where we need to be going. And this lunar eclipse is that of the personal, individual level, and rewiring that subconscious, that wiring that we got going on in there. We have to make those changes to switch some things up, because the old way is not going to be able to be the new way, right? That old way has got to go. Now, if you are a Cancer moon, I believe that this is going to affect you, this energy, the way that you feel during this time, the moodiness, the emotions, the sensitivity, is going to probably affect you the most. That is just my personal opinion, but I believe everybody is going to feel it on some level or another. It just really depends on where your planetary placements are in your natal chart. Cancer is a very, very, very intuitive sign and has a lot of Cancerians have, whether Cancer Sun or Cancer Moon or whatever the case, have a lot of psychic abilities, okay? So this is a great time for psychic development, getting into whatever your gifts, your specific gifts are, and strengthening that, okay? So spending some time at the altar, at your altar, if you have an altar, or just in meditation, just spending some time just going within and connecting with spirit is going to help you greatly during this time. And it's also going to illuminate what areas you need to work on while this eclipse energy is coming through, what the decisions are that you need to make, what are the changes that are coming in. Again, some of them you're going to see coming, some of them you're not going to be able to see coming, but the more that you quiet yourself and you're able to tune into what's going on within, is the more you know what's going on in the subconscious and what kind of changes need to take place. Okay, so some of the rituals that you can do around this energy are past life recall, personal or family healing, contacting your ancestors, doing a cleansing, a spiritual bath. You can do a fertility rituals, so around healing the womb and just bringing lots of loving and nurturing energy to your womb to boost your fertility. You can also, again, talk about psychic development, lucid dreaming or prophetic dreaming. This is a good time for prophetic dreams, to lucid dream, to go into the dream world and to retrieve answers. This is also a great time to clear things out of your home. Some of you, I'm just gonna be honest, some of you are probably gonna be moving. Some of you are gonna be moving. You're gonna be making that decision to move. It's time to move on, time to move to a new place, you know, time to move to a new country, just time to clear things out. So if you find yourself in the spirit of wanting to let go of things, because Cancers and Cancerian energy can be hoarders. We can hold on to a lot of things and want to keep things very nostalgic. Everything we assign a meaning. Oh my gosh, somebody gave me this pencil in 2002 and I just can't get rid of it because it holds a lot of memories. Like, we're those type of people. So that energy can call you to just holding on to things that you need to release. So if you do find yourself in the space where you are wanting to release, allow yourself to release and let go. Go with the energy. Don't fight the energy. Go with it, because if you fight it, you're going to make it harder on yourself. This energy is here to help us. If you didn't get anything else from this video, I'm gonna lean in so you can hear me again. This energy is coming in to help you. I want you to hear that and receive it, because that is the truth. And a lot of people get scared around this stuff. Oh my gosh, major changes are on the way. I don't know what to expect. You know, we are creatures of habit. We like comfort. We like predictability, and this energy that comes in is not predictable. It's uncomfortable, it's unexpected, but get used to it. It is bringing us closer to where we need to be. I want to highlight some of the things that we need to watch for with this energy coming in. With this, again, the eclipse is the full moon on steroids. So Cancer full moon on steroids means you need to watch out for overindulgence. You need to watch out for being super, super sensitive, overly emotional, just off emotionally, like in the terms of like being on the edge of blowing up, getting angry, just outburst and crying. You want to keep your emotions, try to keep your emotions in check. Also depression, because you can go into isolation, you can get stuck in a space of wanting to be alone. It's great to take yourself and disconnect from other energies at this time, to kind of quiet yourself, to listen and spend time with yourself to find out what you need. But you want to not get stuck in being so isolated that you get depressed and you've cut yourself off from everything. Some of the things that I can recommend from the earth to help you during this transitional time, the crystals that I would recommend are moonstone. Moonstone is great for tapping into that intuition, to getting to that subconscious. And then another stone that I would recommend working with at this time is selenite. And selenite, this is my selenite wand here, but selenite is a peaceful, very, very calming, peaceful stone. And again, we're gonna be in this upheaval of emotions where everything is just gonna be like, everybody's gonna be ready to pop off emotions wise. So selenite is great for just bringing in that calming energy and just kind of, keeping things at a simmer. Some of the herbs that I would recommend working with at this time, one is chamomile, and chamomile is usually in a lot of like nighttime teas, because it's just one of those herbs that will allow you to just mellow out. It just helps you sleep easy. It just helps you calm down. It's just a very good calming herb. Another herb that I would recommend using is mugwort, and mugwort is an herb that can help you with your dream work. Okay, so I'm not really sure what happened there because my camera just died. Well, it didn't die, but the video just stopped recording. So I want to close this video out properly and say I hope that you got something out of the information that I shared today. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, comment below on your thoughts, share with someone that you think that could use this information. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do so that you can stay up to date on all the other information that I have coming, because I have a lot of information coming your way. And again, always do your own research, do what feels right to you, do what feels intuitive, and treat yourself well, guys. Treat yourself well, give yourself some grace. We are growing, we're evolving, and it doesn't always look pretty, it doesn't always feel pretty, but we're doing the damn thing, okay? So I am gonna sign off officially and say good night, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. I'll see you in the next video.